So, are there other job roles or career types that would benefit from knowledge gained by studying for CMMC certification, even if you're not planning on working for the DoD? Is the information you would learn there translate well to other sort of career types in compliance and so forth?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
At its root, all of the compliance standards can loop back to ISO 27001, basically. CMMC included.
Yeah.
So if you do any of those certifications that give you something along that path, you're definitely going to be able to benefit from it.
Okay.
I've been telling people to go to DoD's 8570 website. It's a DoD instruction, I think.
Yep.
It takes all of the commercially available certifications and maps them to a level 1, 2, or 3 that you basically need to hold certain jobs in DoD. But it's a great way to go in there and say, Security Plus does this, ISC squared does that, and kind of doesn't equate them, but at least gives you a relative measure about which ones that DoD sees as being equivalent.
Okay. So for our listeners, we have a lot of novice listeners, people just getting started, who are listeners who are considering getting a job within the federal government or DoD in a cybersecurity role. Do you have any recommendations for experiences or certifications or other markers of knowledge that would make them desirable to people doing the hiring?
They absolutely need to go to the DoD 8570 matrix and see where they fit.
Yep.
Because within DoD, they will say you have to be an IAM level 2 to have this job. It's cut and dry, right? If you don't have it, if you don't have one of those certifications that's listed, you're not eligible. Thank you. Your application goes on another pile.
Right.
DoD contractors use that too.
Okay.
They're doing staff augmentation in a lot of cases. So they're basically providing a warm body in lieu of DoD hiring somebody.
Right.
So they go and say, okay, for this job, you need to have a security clearance and you need to have this certification.
Yep.
And pick one, right? And it comes down to, there's a management track and there's a more technical track in those certifications. There's the assessor tracks. You just kind of pick the thing that sort of fits your personality and then determines what you want to do. I've been around, like I said, a long time. I go back to Fortran and punch card.
Right.
I learned 8080 assembler language and did it on Mylar paper tape, which probably most of your listeners don't even know what Mylar
don't know half of those words. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. The environment has changed to the point that, you need to understand a broad range of IT. But you have to have some specialized skills, and those specialized skills are really what interests you. And pick something. You could become a security engineer. And you're going to focus in how to deploy SIM solutions or how to deploy EDR. But if you still like to sling code around, maybe you want to go to work for one of those companies and write the back end pieces, right?
Yeah.
So the sky's the limit these days. I have 3 kids that are adult that are out in the workforce. They're all engineers also. They work in, 2 of them are computer engineers like I am. One of them is a nuclear engineer in the Navy.
Wow.
They all sort of pick their own little niche. But I encourage them, like when they were young, to do math, right? You cannot do computer programming and computer science and computer engineering unless you know math. Right. And get a good background in your math and use that going forward and piggyback into all the other different areas. And it's just amazing what's out there right now.
New episodes of the CyberWork podcast are available every Monday at 1 p.m. Central. And don't forget to check out our hands-on training series, CyberWork Applied. Each week, expert Infosec instructors teach you a new cybersecurity skill and show you how that skill applies to real-world scenarios. Go to infosecinstitute.com/learn to stay up to date on all things CyberWork.